Rhodes is a very special destination. It's the largest of the Greek islands.
So now we're looking at the Temple of Apollo. We are on the Acropolis of Rhodes City. The temple was built in the 5th century BC, and people would climb up here to pray, to feel closer to the sky and ask the gods for changes and wishes in their life. Behind the Temple of Apollo used to be a second temple of Demeter. There were twins with Demeter. Apollo was the god of sunlight, music, and prophecies. At a lower level, there is a stadium, an ancient stadium, that was originally built in the 2nd century AD. And people still use it to exercise. And always from the Acropolises, you get a gorgeous view.
We're going to try now our new sparkling wine, Bohème. Has been launched in the market last winter. We sent it in the international wine competition, and we were very happy to listen the result with a gold medal of quality. And this is really a very good news because shows that it is a value for money product. For this product, we use the variety Mandilari. It's a red local variety with the Muscat of Rhodes. And this variety has the special efficiency to give aromatic expression of strawberries and cherries. That's why it's so aromatic, and with the combination of the flowers of the Muscat gives a completely new expression, very modern and very, very lovely. Cair is an old company with an history of at least 80 years because it has been established from 1928 in the island of Rhodes. The policy and the strategy of the company is to show all over the world the local varieties, Greek varieties, which are mainly the Muscat of Rhodes. We give also as an alternative proposal for the international markets the combination of the Greek varieties with international grape varieties, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Syrah, Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon.
The Dolores restaurant is a fine dining experience. You can only find these small shrimp in Simi. Tour the old town of Rhodes, where there are cafes, shops, and marketplaces. It's the most intriguing destination for the curious and the inquisitive. There's a lot going on behind the great walls of the old city in Rhodes. Tour the old town of Rhodes, where there are cafes, shops, and marketplaces.
Παίρνουσα από τη γειτονιά με τα άλλα τα κορίτσια.
We are dining in Four Seasons restaurant where everything is just perfect. Seafood is their specialty.
Καλή όρεξη.
Oh, okay. This is absolutely so bad. You know what I love about the food? It's so fresh. Right from the sea. What could be better than that? Post.
στείλει γεια σας. All the best.
They also have an assortment of Greek wines.
We are the first cooperative of women in the Dodecanese. There are about 115 in the whole Greece. My name is Katerina. You're in Apollona of Rhodes, Greece. This is Melekouni, and we give this as a treat in weddings. And it's made from sesame and honey, local honey. We also have traditional cookies that are made from our oil and our oranges. As you can see, this is one product that it's made from olive oil and orange juice. We also have different kinds of cookies that are made with local products. For example, these cookies here that are made with olive oil and orange juice. We also have some spoon sweets that are made with our fruits from our gardens. For example, this is grape. We put sugar and we make a syrup and we boil the grapes with syrup. We serve it in small plates, just like that, plain, or we can put it on yogurt.
The Paragati restaurant is another great dining experience. Mariana, this is an incredible archaeological site. Tell me something about the history here.
Well, over here, the city of Calvados was one of the three ancient cities, and it was the first city that minted its own coin. It consists of three parts. The Agora. The Agora was the center of economic and political life, where we have the Temple of Apollo. There is a fountain over here, and there was a reservoir, and the water was flowing out of spouts into an open basin.
And where was it coming from? Springs?
Yes, and from the cistern that is at the Acropolis. There is a huge cistern over there that it could hold 600 cubic meters of water. So they had water pipes taking the water from the cistern down to the fountain over here, and also to the houses, because Calvados had a perfect watering and drainage system. So the houses, they had water.
How clever. They were really forward thinking, and also a lot of this has still not been unearthed. They still have to go and discover, and dig and find, and actually this is what, a third of the city, did you say?
You see only 1/3 of the city, because only 1/3 of the city has been excavated.
Oh, imagine. And really on top of the mountain here, so they've got the best view. What's so spectacular about this site is the fact that it's on top of a hill. And how did they discover this?
It was the British Chancellor, Pigliotti, that started excavating over here. And the Italians, they also continue with the excavations. They did the restoration over here as well.
And did they have some kind of historic maps or indications of how the city was put together?
Well, Pigliotti started excavating here because, from the name, because it was called Camiri. It's very similar to the word Calvados. So that's what made him starting excavating over here. So he started, and as I said, the Italians, they continue with the excavations here.
And they got so excited about it. And what's going to happen now? Are they going to continue to excavate?
No, even now they're doing some restoration, but as far as I know, that there are no plans for further excavation.
Not at the moment.
In the near future, yes.
Yeah, that takes time. Yeah. And they do it so carefully, with a brush and a little, it's not serious digging. It really is because they don't want to disrupt anything.
Of course, it takes a lot of time, and they have to be very careful.
Why did they build on a hill?
Usually they were building on a hill because the Acropolis, at the top is the Acropolis. Usually was a religious center, the Acropolis, but also in case of a siege, the people, they would find protection over there. So the place was inaccessible, and from land and from sea, most of the times, the Acropolis.
So it was
they
just
were
protection?
For protection,
Yeah,
yes.
I've always been curious about why everything was basically above. It's like, you know, a lot of cities are built up for protection because of all the wars that were created during that time. Calvados is the smallest of the 3 ancient cities forming the Rhodian state. This is the ruin of the Church of the Virgin of Berg, which was bombed.
This is Mr. Yannis Hadzikelis. He is the owner of the fish tavern Yannis Hadzikelis in the old town of Rhodes, Greece. Our tavern is a tavern which is an original fish tavern. We serve fresh fish, fresh lobster, shrimps, and traditional Greek meze from all around Greece and from Rhodes. Our tavern is located inside the old town, medieval old town of Rhodes. It is right next to the commercial harbor.
Βρισκόμαστε σε ένα νησί και δεν θα μπορούσαμε να μην σερβίρουμε φρέσκο ψάρι.
We're on the island of Rhodes. It's easier for us to find seafood. And it was a chain reaction. It's much more easier for us to find seafood than to make meat, and especially in the older days, and that is why we continued with seafood.
Η ταβέρνα μας είναι
Our tavern is a family-owned tavern. Mr. Giorgos Hadzikelis is Mr. Yannis Hadzikelis' father and the founder of the tavern, which many years ago gave it to his son, and since then it belongs to the family, which they try their best to give quality food to the Rhodians.
Εγώ αυτό το μαγαζί το έφτιαξα για τα παιδιά μου και για το...
The way that I started the business is the way that my son Yannis is continuing, and maybe even better than I did. These are white and red groupers and local lobsters.
The mussels marine, you need only 5 to 8 minutes to make it already, and this is one of the our typical plates, and this recipe is from father to son.
This is risotto seafood, which have already started. We're adding a little bit of butter inside.
Calamari, octopus, and sipia.
Cuttlefish.
Cuttlefish. Some water.
Raisins. Mr. Yannis is preparing now some fish grilled on the charcoal right behind him. When the seafood is ready to go to the customer's table, the only dressing, the only sauce that we use is olive oil and lemon and nothing else.
I can't begin to tell you how many divine dinners and lunches that I shared in Rhodes. Everything's so fresh and beautifully prepared. This is a family business, and everyone is marching to their own tune. Talk about a happening night. The Apple Bar is hopping every night in the old town. Lindos has an acropolis that sits high on a hill overlooking the town. The houses are perched on the side of the hill, and they're washed in white against the blue sky and sea. The Acropolis of Lindos rises high on the cliff, surrounded by powerful walls, like a podium overlooking the sea.
I'm Dimitris Michalos. I'm a friend of the owner of Kourkos Place. Kourkos is something special in Rhodos. It's like a small village in a tourist city. Kourkos is a place that we don't have to prove something that we are better, more nice, more cheap, more expensive, more special. Just we live. We live it once, We like to meet people, we like to speak, we like to have recina, ouzo, and Koukos also is a place that producer, musician, traditional musician, singer came here, we sing, we talk, we make program for the summer. The recipes and the food are made it by traditional way.
Μια αγκαλιά, ένα χάδι.
Most of food we make it in a fire oven, but the special things that we bring from small islands like Simitilos, every day fresh fish or screams, the small fish. The recipes are traditional and most of the food are organic.
Rhodes is so very special with lots of friendly people who are so willing to share their island. Look forward to seeing you next week at another great destination. So long for now.